We all know the story. Around 66 million years ago, a gigantic asteroid, roughly the size of Mount Everest, slammed into Earth with unimaginable force. The impact triggered apocalyptic conditions around the planet and wiped out roughly 75% of all species. But what if the asteroid that ended the age of the dinosaurs wasn't alone? Because a discovery made only a few years ago suggests that the final day of the dinosaurs may have been even more violent than we ever imagined. The asteroid impact is widely considered one of the most sudden and violent extinction events in Earth's history. Most dinosaurs may have been perfectly fine one day and gone the next. And while this wasn't the largest extinction event ever recorded, it was catastrophic enough to erase an entire dominant group from the planet. But in 2022, researchers reviewing seismic reflection data discovered something extremely strange beneath the Atlantic Ocean. The structure was eventually dubbed Nadir. What made it so strange was that it appeared to have all the characteristics of an impact crater. And it wasn't small. The structure measured approximately 9.2 kilometers, or 5.7 miles, across, despite being located more than 900 meters underwater. That's roughly 11 times the height of the tallest building in the world. You might assume that such a crater would be somewhere near the Chicxulub crater in Mexico. But you'd be wrong. Nadir was discovered on the opposite side of the Atlantic Ocean, off the coast of Guinea in Africa. And that immediately made the discovery much more interesting. When researchers dated the structure, they found something astonishing. It appeared to be almost exactly the same age as the dinosaur extinction event, approximately 66 million years old. This raised a terrifying possibility. Could the dinosaurs have been hit twice? Was Nadir a completely separate asteroid? Or could it have broken away from the Chicxulub asteroid as it entered Earth's atmosphere? The mystery was far from solved. Last year, a study confirmed beyond reasonable doubt that Nadir was definitely created by an asteroid impact. But one major question remained unanswered. Did it happen on the exact same day as Chicxulub? Did it happen shortly before? Or did it happen afterward? That distinction matters, because we're not talking about an insignificant event. We're talking about an impact powerful enough to potentially influence the fate of life on Earth. Nadir was considerably smaller than Chicxulub, which created a crater roughly 200 kilometers across. But Nadir was still enormous. Researchers estimate that its asteroid was nearly 500 meters across, more than 5 times the length of a football field. An impact of this size is incredibly rare, occurring only once every 50,000 to 100,000 years. But Nadir wasn't just unusually large, it was also exceptionally fast. The asteroid struck the coast at approximately 72,000 kilometers per hour. That's around 11 times faster than the fastest tank shell ever fired. And remember, this asteroid was billions of times heavier. Put all of that together, and you get one seriously catastrophic collision. If Nadir struck before Chicxulub, any dinosaur that happened to see it coming would have had almost no warning. As it entered the atmosphere, the asteroid would have rapidly grown brighter, potentially around 24 times brighter than the Sun. Its size and speed may have caused a partial airburst, creating intense local disruption. Animals close enough to the event could have been exposed to an incredible burst of heat and light. Then, in an instant, Nadir slammed into Earth. The impact released an estimated energy equivalent to around 5,000 megatons of TNT. A gigantic fireball larger than Central Park would have formed almost instantly. The surrounding area would have been engulfed in extreme heat. Water would have boiled, and exposed animals near the coast could have been instantly burned. But the fire wasn't the worst of it. As the fireball expanded, superheated winds traveling faster than hurricanes would have raced outward. Forests could have been uprooted, and animals far beyond the immediate impact zone could have been blasted by the shockwave. The destruction may have stretched for hundreds of miles. The water may have softened some aspects of the impact, but it also made others much worse. The most obvious example was the tsunami. Near the impact site, the wave may have been around 3 times taller than the Eiffel Tower. Smaller, but still enormous waves would have traveled across the Atlantic, damaging coastlines and potentially reaching the shores of North and South America. And the impact didn't stop with the tsunami. The asteroid struck with enough force to fracture the seafloor and generate an earthquake estimated at magnitude 7. Combined with the fireball, shock waves, extreme winds, and tsunami, the result would have been catastrophic on a local and potentially continental scale. The biggest question is whether Nadir had a serious global impact. It probably wasn't powerful enough to superheat the atmosphere in the same way as Chicxulub, but it still vaporized huge amounts of seafloor material, and the location may have been particularly unfortunate. The asteroid struck an area containing a large deposit rich in carbon and sulfur, 2 elements that can have major effects when released into the atmosphere. An independent simulation involving Bennu, an asteroid of similar proportions, gives us an idea of what could happen. The simulation suggested that an impact of that scale could lower global temperatures for 3 to 4 years, reduce precipitation by around 15%, and deplete the ozone layer by up to 32%. These numbers aren't a direct prediction for Nadir, but they show just how dangerous an asteroid of this size could be. Interestingly, Nadir may have caused a prolonged climate disruption in one unexpected way. When huge amounts of dust enter the atmosphere, particles can collide and clump together, causing them to fall back to Earth faster. But when less dust is released, the particles may remain suspended for longer. That means a smaller impact could potentially produce a longer-lasting atmospheric effect, even if its immediate effects were less severe. All of this points to one conclusion. Nadir was powerful enough to change the world, but exactly how it affected the dinosaurs remains unresolved. If Nadir struck before Chicxulub, it could have devastated ecosystems and weakened communities around the world, potentially making life more vulnerable to the much larger impact that followed. And if both impacts happened at nearly the same time, the combined effects could have intensified the extinction. Scientists still maintain that Chicxulub alone was more than enough to wipe out the non-avian dinosaurs. Its impact released more energy than 10 billion Hiroshima bombs combined. In that sense, extinction was probably not a question of if, but when. Nadir may have made the nightmare worse, but Chicxulub was already more than enough to end the age of the dinosaurs. But this raises another terrifying question. What would an impact like Nadir have done to humanity? The fireball alone could instantly kill tens of thousands of people near the coast. Meanwhile, the tsunami and other effects could place more than 200 million people in danger, simply because so many major cities are located along the Atlantic coastline. The consequences wouldn't stop at the coastline. The destruction of infrastructure would disrupt countries and economies around the world. And if the climate effects were anything like those predicted by simulations of similar asteroids, humanity could also face food shortages, changing weather patterns, and years of environmental instability. The impact would be local. The consequences would be global. And perhaps that's the most unsettling lesson of all. Events like these remind us just how fragile life on Earth can be. The dinosaurs ruled the planet for more than 160 million years. Then, in a geological instant, everything changed. Somewhere, on that final day, countless dinosaurs were simply living their lives. They had no idea that the world they knew was about to disappear. So, was Nadir the second asteroid that helped finish the dinosaurs? We still don't know. We know it was an asteroid. We know it struck Earth around 66 million years ago. And we know that If its timing was close enough to Chicxulub, it may have made one of the worst days in Earth's history even worse. Perhaps that's what makes Nadir so fascinating. It reminds us that even after millions of years, Earth still has stories buried beneath its oceans. Stories that could completely change how we understand the past. If you enjoyed this journey into Earth's lost history, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Nadir struck before Chicxulub, after it, or perhaps at almost exactly the same time? Thanks for watching, and until next time.